of gas in the street. At least I think that's what happened. Good enough. Oh, that was not fun. Do not recommend. Don't try that.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Sally's Speed Shop. It is now officially time for us to try to drive this 1976 AMC Gremlin 750 miles home after it sat since 1991. 32 years it's been off the road. We're gonna see if we can road trip it. What could go wrong? Everything could go wrong. We got the service truck and it's ready to go as a support vehicle. So my buddy Cale from Cam Racing is here. He's gonna be driving one of the vehicles and I'll be driving one of them. We'll probably trade back and forth. So our service truck is all kitted out with everything we need. We even got frost on the roof. Dang, it's actually chilly this morning. But we also have a ton of spare parts. So I even brought spare radiator, spare transmission, a bunch of random doodads, and the key is there is a tow bar in there. So if the car does indeed crap out, which could very well happen, we can just hook a tow bar to it and flat tow it behind the truck back to Georgia. So we got contingency plans, and we're just gonna get started. We got a small list of things to check off this morning to finish up on the car, and then we'll be hitting the road, heading south. Wish us luck. We have made ourselves a very important list with all kinds of necessary details, such as chrome center caps
and other very important things.
Yep, we'll run down the list. So we're gonna top off the coolant, torque the wheels, put the center caps on. I gotta check out the idler pulley. It's making a ton of noise. Clean the windows. I might even check the diff fluid because I care. I'm gonna put some penetrating spray on the bumper bolts just in case we got to pull it off to flat tow it. Put the PCV back in, right next to the windows. Maybe give ourselves a seat cushion because these seats are pretty hammered. Put some stickers on the car for Sally's Speed Shop because that's super important. Maybe add a little detail for our carpet. And of course, you got to have your licorice dispenser in any AMC. A flame job, and we're gonna check and see if the radio works. And then we get to drive it 750 miles to Georgia. You think we're gonna do all right on this trip?
I think we'll be fine. We got our lucky Gremlin with us. So.
Just keep that in the car and we'll be good to go. Because, you know, generally a Gremlin in a car is a bad thing. This whole car is a Gremlin.
I mean, we got George the Gremlin on George the Gremlin.
Yeah. So Cale came up with a name for this car, and he's like, oh, this is a stupid name, but I think George is actually the perfect name for this car.
It almost looks like a George.
Yeah.
No offense to anyone named George, but this looks like a George.
And there's meaning behind it. So that's the Gremlin from the Cars movie, right?
I think it's Cars 2. It's like a blue patina one as well.
Yeah. So it's named after a character in a Cars film. I normally don't give Cars people names, but George, it just fits. It looks like a George. So let's get George ready to hit the road. Just pulled off the driver's side wheel, and you can tell our brakes are definitely working because it resurfaced that rotor and it looks basically brand new. Brake line's a little dry rotted, but we have extra ones. We'll just change them if they go bad. No point in fixing it if it ain't broke. Got the stock suspension that's definitely never been rebuilt, but looks intact. The bushings don't look terrible. And I pulled the cap off. It's got a ton of grease on the wheel bearing still, but I'm gonna add some grease to the cap as well, just so it has a little reserve if it needs it. You can see the crash bumpers in here. So it's got the 5-mile-an-hour bumpers that they had to do after 1973. But pretty nice overall. The plastic's still in there. It's all got its undercoating and paint still. Like, yeah, this car is spoiling us. You come over to the passenger side, it's more of the same. Brakes are working. Everything looks intact. Nothing looks awful. Just a little bit of cracking on the brake hose. But like I said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We have spares. It'll be fine. We're gonna basically just put the center caps on and pretend we didn't look at any of that. We went ahead and tossed some extra grease in the end caps for the wheel bearings. And so now it has some spare grease for if anything goes wrong. When it warms up, it'll literally like make that grease kind of flow into the bearing. It's a good tip for you guys that are running these old school wheel bearings. Is ready for this grand reveal? Boom. Beautiful. Got spinners now. Shoo, buddy. That looks fancy. Nice. Perfect. So we just buzz them on with the impact, then we break out a torque wrench because I always torque my wheels. I don't care what you guys say. You can ram them on with the impact all you want. I'm torquing mine.
Perfect.
Isn't that great? All right, onto the back. So we're gonna pull the rear brake drum off and see what we're dealing with. The inside looks really nice. No real giant groove or anything, no rust. And the rear shoe doesn't have a lot of life on it there, but it's enough for this trip. There's no fluid around the rear wheel cylinder, so we're just gonna slap that back on and call it good. Look, there's still black paint on the wheel mounting surface. That's crazy. Those came off with no effort too. Like,
That's pretty wild.
yeah, this car. George, you're the man. Literally, that's how easy that comes off. And this one has even more meat on the pads. There's no brake fluid around the wheel cylinder. So again, we are just going to put that back and pretend we didn't even look. Definitely can't put that back on one-handed, so there we go. Look how easy. Nuts. Lug nuts. So for those that are curious how this works, our little spinner we had, it's got a piece that goes over the studs and allows you to run that. So you just find where it lines up, whatever bolt pattern. There you go. Put that on, put the wheel over it, spin that on. Now you got spinners. Fake knockoffs.
Race car stuff.
Yeah, totally race car. Yeah, cool as that. Then that just goes there. It's money. So I'm currently under the back of the car because one of my dad's things that he always checks is the diff fluid, and I know he would be mad if I didn't, so I'm gonna check the diff fluid. And look how easy that came loose. So this has an AMC 15 in it, which is not exactly the toughest rear end on earth, but also I abused the one in the Hornet for a long time and never blew it up. So I gotta say they do okay. Despite having a two-piece axle, the hub actually bolts to the axle shaft. It's like swedged on, kind of a weird design. Guys break them in off-roading all the time, but I've not broken one on the street. Let's see if we got fluid. Money. And it looks pretty good too. So I just dripped my pinky in it and I got fluid on it. Nice. Smells like gear oil, that's for sure. So we're just gonna put that back in and it'll be fine. There we go, good to go. So when this thing was running, it had like an awful noise. So this idler pulley, that's the tensioner for the AC belt. And I hate that I even have to run the AC belt, but AMC in all of their infinite wisdom ran the alternator off the back of the AC compressor pulley, which is ridiculous. So this thing literally made it sound like it had like a cammed V8 in it. It was like, so not good. Yeah, we're gonna clean this off. Cale had a good idea. Gonna clean the dirt off of it, and then we're gonna take some red grease and like pack it into the bearing. So that way at least it has grease in it rather than just spraying some WD-40 down in it or something.
Better than nothing, I guess.
That's a great idea. I think it'll help a lot.
Yeah.
But we are gonna stop at an auto parts store and buy some kind of pulley because there are some similar ones in stock and we can probably rig it if we have to. So we'll figure it out. It'll be fine. It's not gonna be the thing that stops us, I don't think.
Well, now that you say that.
There's no wood to knock on. It's all fiberglass. There we go. We're good. Knock on wood. It'll be fine. So Cale got the idler pulley cleaned up. We've got some grease on it and some assembly lube, and it's way better. It's still not good, don't get me wrong, but it's way better than it was, and at least it has some good lubrication instead of just spraying some WD-40 in there. So now he's gonna get that reassembled back on the engine, and then we'll start checking the rest of the items off the list. We really don't have a ton to do. So we already did
Cross off PCB.
torque wheels, center caps, idler pulley's basically done, so I'll go ahead and cross it off. PCV, I'll top off the coolant. Oh, I checked the diff fluid too. Wow, we're doing good. And all this is like unnecessary, but I mean completely necessary.
I mean, here, let's see. Do we even have to top off the coolant?
Let's check. Let's see if we can cross something else off. You gotta push it. Well, yeah, one more. Yeah, we'll top it off.
Yeah, we probably should.
But that one's an easy one to check off. So I'll go ahead and check it off and do it right now. Boom. We're making big progress. Well, there you go. The little Gremlin is pretty much ready to hit the road. We got a little Greenhorn A sticker hiding down there. We got our Cam Racing stickers. And of course, the Sally Speed Shop sticker with whatever hot rods, the Go Drive It sticker for QA1, which we need some QA1 shocks on this thing. The ride quality is not gonna be great. And then Kevin, who helped us out this whole time from Broken Gear, he let us use his garage and stuff. Absolute legend. And then we got Dan Gurney for president because that's just the best sticker ever. So now it's time to load our stuff in here and hit the road. We even added a nice new upholstery here in the interior. We got towels with bungee cords holding them to the seat and our Holley sticker bomb fender gripper, along with a fire extinguisher. Always put a fire extinguisher in your old cars. It's well worth $20 or $30 to not burn an entire car to the ground. Do you expect us to make it home?
Is that a trick question?
I don't know. What do you think of it?
No.
No chance?
Not a chance.
No faith. We have 750 miles to do because we're doing back roads. If it was interstates, it would be just under 700, but we're gonna do back roads so we don't die. And then hopefully we'll make it with no real problems. But I'm kind of skeptical.
I hope I'm wrong.
I mean, I think if anything happens, we should be able. We fixed everything thus far.
Yeah,
So
and we have a mobile shop. That's like, that truck is the best, so we'll be good. And worst comes to worst, I brought a tow bar. We're gonna get our stuff loaded up and then head to the gas station, top this thing off, get some snacks, and start heading south. Huge thank you to this guy, legitimately. This was awesome. First and foremost, you put this fuse in, this fuse holder, and then you go inside and you've got coil, which you hit first, and then you hit that for start. All right, time to start this thing. Got to turn the coil on, and now hit the starter. Good to go. Time to go put gas in it. Not a great start. It just died going down the road, but it died very strangely, like it sputtered and struggled. So I think the fuel filter probably just clogged up, if I had to guess. It's a brand new fuel filter, but if there was gross stuff in the tank, I guarantee you it would clog a fuel filter pretty fast. So I'm gonna check and see if I spray some brake clean down the carb if it fires up, because I think it just ran out of fuel. But there's like 6 gallons in the tank, so it's not just out of fuel in the tank. There's a problem, so we'll figure it out. Well, it fired back up, so not sure what the problem is exactly, but I'm just gonna keep going to the gas station because it's running again. Don't know. Oh, wait, it died again. So there's something definitely going on fuel related. We'll have to figure this out. So we're gonna find out if it runs off of this.
with the weirdest air cleaner hold down I've
Yeah,
ever seen.
it's a wing nut, but a stud on a wing nut, basically. It's quite strange. I've never seen anything quite like it. It takes forever to get out, apparently. There you go. Wing nut stud. Don't be a wing nut.
Be a dipstick.
Be a dipstick. Plenty. Healthy amount.
Just hope it doesn't die on that hill. Come on, little fuel pump. I believe in you. You're only, you know, what, 50 years old? I want to try to make this light. Come on, car. You can do it. I believe in you. Oh, goodness. There's so many bumps, and this car has no shocks. Oh. It looks like we're going to make it. Time to put gas in it. Maybe that'll fix it.
I can tell you it's a good thing we brought a radiator because there is a pinhole leak right there. It's like cracked. Yeah, the radiator is cracked in a line right there. That's not ideal. I think it, oh geez, I made it worse. I made it worse. Oh no, oh no. That's not ideal. I shouldn't have touched it, but I'm really glad I brought that spare radiator. That's gonna need fixed.
All right, we're gonna find a spot to put this car and we'll come back and work on it after we eat, because I'm a little hungry. Food sounds like a good idea.
This is perfect.
So for starters, we're just gonna drain the old coolant into that while we eat so it can sit there and drain. And very fortunately, I brought the Green Hornet's old aluminum radiator. So we're just gonna swap this in, put some new hoses on it, and it'll be a performance upgrade. And the stupid thing is, these fittings are different for the trans cooler. So I brought a trans cooler off the Green Hornet too. It's gonna be a race car by the time we get home. That'll work though. I'm gonna put this pan under here, and there should be a petcock somewhere. Well, potentially not, maybe not. So we're just gonna cut a radiator hose and let it drain. And I'll show you a trick for that to where it's not misery. And I am gonna get a glove because this is still hot. So this is the weirdest thing I keep on my truck probably. We've used it twice on this trip already. If you're a plumber, you might recognize that. That's for cutting PVC pipe, but it's great at cutting radiator hoses. So you come in here and you just start slicing. And we'll probably leave it sliced that much and let it drain. I'm gonna leave it at that speed. There you go. Way better than trying to take the hose clamps off and burning yourself. Just do that when you're replacing the radiator hose anyway. Well, ready to change your radiator?
Yeah.
So luckily it's 4 bolts and 2 or 4 hose clamps, and we'll have that out. We'll have to put our trans cooler in front of the, you know, condenser because this car had air conditioning. But we're just gonna cut to a time lapse and we'll have this fixed in a jiffy.
Yeah, jiffy.
Jiffy. All right, time for a time lapse.
Well, there we go. The old radiator is out of the way. We've got the tranny lines loose and capped. We're gonna run my external cooler that used to be on the Green Hornet. We've already bolted it to the car. Gonna run the lines down to the tranny lines. And unfortunately, our water pump is also bad. So that's far from ideal. Because as you can see, those bolts are tight and that's moving like crazy. So we're gonna go ahead and change the water pump because I brought one of those too. It's always something.
So check it out. We got the front of the engine apart. The coolant looks pretty good in there, actually. This thing was never out of coolant, so it's not surprising. Cale's scraping it off and making way for our new water pump. We got a Gates water pump, and that's gonna go on in place of the old one. And I'll show you the old one. Oh, it's quality. Very good to go. So it's kind of a good thing the radiator showed us that there was a problem, so then we could fix the water pump before it failed. That's a win, right?
Yeah.
The car's doing us a favor.
One thing leads to another.
Yeah. So we've made it like half a mile. At this rate, we'll be home like in 2025. Yeah.
I don't know if I want to work on a Gremlin for the next 2 years straight.
And boom, just like that. Brand new radiator. Well, brand used.
Yeah.
It's actually had a lot of abuse over the years, but we do have a brand new water pump. We have brand new radiator hoses. I didn't feel like changing the heater hose because that wasn't leaking, so I just reattached that. So now we're gonna see if we have a fuel issue by running it and seeing what happens, because I only made it like a quarter of a mile before it had fuel issues, and then we parked at the gas station, then it had cooling issues. So that's 3 issues: water pump, radiator, and fuel system in half a mile.
Fixing the cooling should, in theory, fix the fuel cell.
Maybe it was just vapor locking because it was hot. It's possible. That's what we're gonna tell ourselves.
I like that thought.
Yeah, it's 4:30. We've been on the road for 4 hours. We've made it exactly half a mile.
Man, really,
our average speed is through the roof. That's not good. All right, we're gonna top off this radiator with a little radiator relief from DEI. Give us our best chance at this thing not overheating. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the key in the ignition and fire it up and cycle some coolant through this thing. There's our key, good to go. And let's see if she fires up and treats us right. So, coil, start. Oh, it's running.
look at this product placement.
Yeah.
Hey, it actually topped it right off.
Nice. Perfect. It's like we know what we're doing. It sounds way better. Way better.
It is way quieter. Yeah.
That idler pulley is quiet. The water pump was making all that racket. I thought it was the idler. Nope. Basically restored. Boop. Well, there we go. The old girl's underway again. And it's running like a top. Jeez, I look like a grease ball. But we're heading to Lowe's to get some necessary items to make this thing even nicer. Here we go. So we're here at Lowe's for some essential items. Definitely critical to making this car work. Hopefully they have some. You notice we're in the carpet aisle. Is there any? I see it on the little swatch, but I don't see any AstroTurf. We need that right there. That would be glorious. If we can find it. I don't see it. They must be out. Well, guess we're gonna have to stop later. Oh, that's unfortunate.
I think just so many other people have stopped here in their Gremlins looking for AstroTurf. It's just all gone.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Do it.
Well, we're gonna get some tape because we have some ideas in addition to AstroTurf. You'll see. Just stay tuned. You're gonna want to see it, right?
I think they will.
Yeah, worth the wait. So, gotta check and see if the radio works. Oh, it's making noise. Hang on. It's making some noise, but I'm not picking up any stations. So, I'm gonna have to fiddle with that so I can have some tunes on the AM radio. But I do believe
that totally works. The blower motor functions. That's wild. So we got working heat in this car. I wonder if the AC works. I'm not touching it, but I'm really curious, like legitimately. Wants to race or something. So, lined up at a red light, we're ready to go. Gremlin's doing great though. We've been cruising at 60 for like the last 20 minutes or so, and he's pretty dialed. See ya! Oh, gapped him! Gapped him! Yeah, that truck isn't exactly fast. Oh man, this is awesome. It's the next morning. We stayed in Indianapolis at my buddy Matt Hunt's house. He was kind enough to let us sleep here and show us all his cool stuff. And now we're gonna hit the road, hopefully, if the car will start this morning. You think it's gonna start, Cale?
I think we'll be good.
Yeah? We're about to find out.
Needs a little gas, I think. It's because you put the air cleaner back on.
Yeah, maybe it doesn't want an air cleaner. By the way, we're working behind the service truck right now. These are Bright Earth LEDs. They're amazing. You can buy them through Holley, weirdly enough. It doesn't sound like a Holley related company, but they own them. And look at them. I can sit here and work on a car. I don't even need to hold a flashlight. So there's nobody to yell at.
You can still yell at me, it's okay.
There we go. A little cold natured, I guess. A little starting fluid, basically. It's fine. Oh, I spoke too soon. All right, you keep it running, see if it'll pick up gas.
All right.
So we should probably go to a gas station. Be a good place to start. If your car doesn't start, always check to make sure there's gas in the tank, because 9 times out of 10 we're idiots, and it's the stupidest, simplest thing that actually keeps it off the road. But there we go, sitting here idling. We're gonna head to the gas station and then hit the road. This car has turned out to be really good. Who knew? So apparently today is gonna be more of the same. Make it 10 feet and break down. So we gotta put some gas in it, I think. So it was sitting on that angle while we were backing out of the driveway, and it stalled. So wouldn't restart. We'll put some gas in it, and we might have to spray some carb cleaner down its throat again. So we'll get it taken care of, no problem. And yes, the filler neck is no longer there. It's that radiator hose. Good luck. Not a drop spilled. I'll get you a wipe for your hands. I'm gonna go get the carb cleaner to start this car. What a great start to the morning. How's it going?
It's taken pretty much.
I brought you something really great. This is a sweet patina towel. These are like a mobile sink. And so we're gonna use those to clean Cale's hands, and then later, we're gonna put some patina sauce on the car and make it shine. I mean, it's gonna look like this all the time, instead of like dry, chalky patina. So yeah, I brought him a towel, and we got some brake clean to restart the car. Perfect. Give her some juice. Did I come back out though? At least it didn't light on fire. I have no idea. That was bizarre.
Can you flood it with brake cleaner? Like,
I think we did. Whoops! But it coughed it all out and then immediately started. Bizarre.
I guess we don't need this.
That's awesome. Let's leave the air cleaner off for now. Just toss it in the back of the truck. We'll put it on at the gas station.
Every time we put it back on,
It doesn't like it.
I'm just gonna move this away from the vehicle.
You had to put it in the back and it died?
We're gonna go put it in the
Go
truck.
put it in the truck.
It's just bad juju.
Doesn't like the wing stud. Not about it. Come on, start. All right, she's running. What a hassle. Race car. This has been 30 minutes of trying to leave the driveway. Lovely. Just like that, after fighting the car for entirely too long, we are rolling down the street. Just a few miles from a gas station. We'll top it off and then be heading south. We got a lot of miles to make and we are a little bit behind schedule because the car has to fight us for the first 200 feet apparently every single day, and then it's fine after that because it seems golden now. What a strange car. All right, see you guys at the gas station. Leave it to the Gremlin to die in the middle of the road right by the gas station. Yeah, I think it might be time to change a fuel filter. Oh goodness, what a disaster. All right, you ready?
Yep.
What the heck?
I don't want to.
Spray some more in it, just. All right. Maybe we can push it?
Yeah.
Just leave that truck running, sitting there.
We'll make it through the light.
Let me put the e-brake on.
All right, we got it. Ran out of gas in the street. At least I think that's what happened.
All right, go get the truck, Cale.
Yeah. Come on. Make it. Good enough. Oh, that was...
Simple problem first, we'll just put gas in it because we know we need to anyway, so we might as well fill it up. Oh man, what a start to the day. There we go.
Car's filled up, and Cale's adding gas to this gas can because that's really the only gas can we can add gas to this car with because the other one's too big. We're gonna check the fuel filter in this thing and make sure, well, there's gas there. I wonder if the needle and seat's just sticking. Maybe I just tap it with a hammer. All right, we're gonna see if this thing will fire up. Hopefully it will. I wonder if we lost spark. I mean, Kevin did twist and tape things. You never know. I'm gonna go ahead and check power to the coil because I'm curious if something has gone wrong with that wiring. It's
It's reading 11.8. So I went ahead and put my little spark checker on here, and I'm gonna turn it over and we're gonna see if we get spark out of this. Let's put it there where it's angled up for you. You ready?
Yep.
Make sure you're clear. Good?
Yep.
So, what do we change first? Our new coil?
Ooh. You have an extra spare, or put the old one in?
I'll put the old one in. The one we hit with a hammer to get out.
I was told to do so.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll still work.
Yeah, it probably will.
So yeah, mint condition coil.
NOS Gremlin coil.
As far as I know, there wasn't actually anything wrong with it. So we'll try that for starters. Starters. And then
Oh boy.
see if it starts. We got like a science project going on over here. There's some crazy stuff. So I added the other coil with a jumper wire to ground it. And then we have our spark checker, we have our jump box, we have our voltmeter. Yeah, there's a lot going on. Let's see if it got spark. All right, ready?
Yep.
It's running. Oh, sorry. I hit the wrong switch. I hit the starter. I hit the starter instead of the coil switch. Whoops. They look the same in my defense. The only thing you tell is on the back and a zip tie. I don't like this system very much. I'd rather use a key. But it runs. Yeah, so new parts often suck. Who knew? Actually, everybody knows. New parts from China, generally garbage. Yeah, use the original stuff, even though it looks like that. I tossed a new, old coil in there, and I didn't put it in the bracket all the way because it's a really tight fit. Like I said, we had to get it out with a hammer, but we're gonna hook this back up, and we should probably double check and make sure we have, I'm just gonna hook it up and it's gonna run.
Risk it for the biscuit.
Risk it for the biscuit. So I don't think it was fuel related, which is good. Better this than fuel, in my opinion, because fuel is a nightmare to fix sometimes. It's good to go, probably. All right, please start. Coil, starter. Really? What the crap? All right, air cleaner's coming off. That's the solution.
You stupid
just
wink.
get off of there. Oh man.
It doesn't even deserve to be by the car.
No, just put it in the truck. It's not allowed in here anymore. Literally, it hates the air cleaner. This is the devil. All right, let's go before it turns off again. So dumb. No, don't put it in the car. No, get it out. No. Oh, it didn't turn off. We're good. Get that in the truck. Thing is evil. All right, now let's go. All right, back on the road again. Let's hope it stays on the road now. Other than a squeaky belt, apparently. I don't know how to make it stop. Maybe if I turn the lights off. There we go. You said you used to have a Gremlin.
I had a Gremlin.
With a 258?
258.
That's awesome. So this is a 232. So
Yeah, this is a vacuum right here.
yeah, well that's just the charcoal canister, and it used to
Okay.
have a return to the tank. I just got rid of the return to the tank, so it's just running straight into the carburetor. This is just a vent. But yeah, it's probably just, it's been vapor locking, I think. So I think if it cools down for a second, it'll just fire right back
then,
up.
You know how you avoid that?
What's the trick?
You get, okay, see your gas line
You
here?
put a clothespin on it, right?
No. You get a can.
Oh yeah.
You literally roll your fuel line
And
in that
chill the
can.
fuel.
Yep, and it will never vapor lock again.
That's an old school trick right there. That's awesome. What'd you say your name was?
Danny.
Dan, I'm Jacob. Pleasure to meet you, Danny. And what's your
Ryan.
name? Ryan. Pleasure to meet you. Thanks for letting us borrow your driveway. The car died right there, and I just coasted in. It turns out this guy owned a Gremlin.
Yeah, sure did.
He's like, I know exactly what to do. I used to do this all the time.
I would go ahead just to check it. Take
Yeah,
the
that's what we've been
off,
doing.
Crank it.
I think the fuel pump might be like kind of bad, but it works most of the time. But we've been just putting off changing it because we're lazy. I have a new one in the truck.
Well, another thing to do, put electric fuel pump
Yeah,
on.
we'll figure it out. But I do appreciate you letting us use the driveway.
Go ahead.
So that's really cool. All right, we're gonna figure out what's going on so we can get back on the road.
You got good looking rims.
Oh yeah, gotta be styling. Thanks. That's awesome. These guys right here are awesome. They've had like a bunch of old cars. He drove a Gremlin to Louisiana that he paid $800 for, and then sold it for $3 grand in Louisiana and took a bus home. Apparently he didn't like the Gremlin enough to keep it, but we're gonna see if we can get fuel out of this thing.
It's starting anyway. It's spraying quite a bit. Turn it off.
The key worked.
Well, now your inner fender's clean.
Well, it started.
Honestly, that was probably the most I've seen it spray thus far.
Yeah.
Like, that was quite a bit.
we had to cut all of everything we just said. It got, yeah, that's what she said came out, and that's when you get into trouble.
Oh boy.
But I think we're gonna be in business here in a second. So we got tons of fuel. So let's see, put the fuse back in.
You mean the key?
The key, yeah.
Key is in.
Ready?
Yep.
Money. Alright, we're back on the road. Just like that, we're back on the road. The Gremlin just wanted to go meet another Gremlin owner. How cool is that? That guy was awesome. And he had some old school tips that would totally work. Luckily, we just let the car cool off for a second, fired right back up. I think I was pushing her a little too hard on the mountain roads. Whoops. What's your name, sir?
Tony.
Tony? Pleasure to meet you, Tony. He knows about the Levi Edition Gremlins and all that, and he has the smoothest running 4-liter I've ever heard. 150,000 miles, that's just a baby. These things are beasts. So, made it to the gas station, filled the car up. Hopefully it doesn't leave us on the side of the road again, like it's continued to do all day today. I just put it in my GPS, avoid highways, and it just snakes through all the cool stuff. So, it's the way to do it. It's beautiful here.
You like it?
It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. The mountain roads with the nice green grass. I mean, Indiana has the greenest grass on earth.
Right.
Pleasure meeting you, Tony. I'm gonna get out of your way.
Take care with that thing.
Thank you, sir. You too. Nice meeting you, sir.
I'm getting into like the coolest.
Dude, this is amazing. Cruise back roads. It's so much better in a piece of crap car that people want to talk about. Because you could drive a nice car right here, yeah, people are going to talk to you. You drive a pile of garbage like this, everybody thinks you're awesome.
It's not a chick magnet exactly, but it's a cool people magnet. Which
Definitely.
Is almost better.
It's an old guy magnet. All right, let's get out of his way. You're the first woman to approach it and say, yeah, I want a picture of that.
One of my best friends had one of these and we rode around there all the time.
Oh, that's awesome.
When I was a kid, picture that.
Yeah, of course. People love the Gremlin. Like, love the Gremlin. There we go. Back on the road again. The Gremlin is a popular little car. This road is amazing.
There's like a little creek river deal down there, and it's just beautiful. Indiana, you're amazing. Gravel. I didn't mean to do that. I took a wrong turn and then it rerouted me, and now I'm on a gravel road. That wasn't on purpose, but it's awesome being in a place in America that has gravel roads. Yes, this is awesome. Also sketchy, but awesome. So we just spotted some old Mopars here on this back road in Indiana, and the main one we spotted that we got to go talk about was an orange Dodge Charger, second gen Dodge Charger, and it looked pretty decent actually. So we're gonna go check that out and see if we can talk to the owner and get the story on it. You guys probably aren't gonna be able to see it here on camera, but down there behind this house is an orange Dodge Charger. And I just got it on the story. Well, there is one no trespassing sign. I'm gonna park here for a second and see if the guy notices us here. My goodness. I am so glad we turned around. So what was your name?
Josh Pearson.
Josh, and this is your brother's car
that
your dad bought. And it's been
a
long time ago. It's been sitting here for 4 years?
4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 years. It's freshly painted. Like, this has nicer paint than every vehicle I own, and I'm not actually exaggerating. Like, it's dirty, but it's a shiny car, and it's got a 440 in it. Is it a 727?
I'm not.
Or is it a stick? I didn't even look.
It's automatic.
It's automatic. So 727. It's got the gauges in it, and you said even the glove box door is signed by the Duke brothers.
Yeah, and Daisy.
Daisy signed it too. Yeah. What? It's got wheels and tires on it. It's got glass with it. Like, it needs a little metal work, but man, you could drive it as is. That frame rail looks perfect.
Yeah, he's got new trunk fans and everything.
This is amazing. Like, look at how nice that is. Stay tuned for hopefully a future episode of what we're doing with this car. I need to come back to Indiana and help. Thanks for showing us the car, and hopefully we can actually do something to help. Like, I would love to bring out the dream team. We'll get Kevin out here, Dylan.
Oh,
and
if you bring Kevin out here, I'm gonna love it.
Yeah, he's all right, I guess. And we'll get this thing at least to where they can drive it around. Obviously, we won't be able to like restore it completely, but like to make it where you can move it around, drive it, enjoy it, take it and put it in a barn or something to where it'll save how nice it is. Because I'm blown away by how nice it is.
Why couldn't I find this one instead of my hunkage?
Oh, you should see the car he found. He's gonna have to cut every piece of metal off of it to fix it. But he only paid $1,000 for it.
No kidding.
Like, this is legitimately shocking. What the heck?
What do you think?
Why is this here?
We saw it from a distance. Cale's like, I think that's like nice, like freshly painted. I was like, there's no way. It's gotta just be like dolled up yard art. No, it's a beautiful 69 Charger. And then you have a GTO, you said over there.
6.9 GTO. With it's a board over 400.
Man.
But I need to replace the motor because the rings are shot.
Dude, that's amazing. I'm so glad we stopped. Seriously, thanks for the story and thanks for letting us know. And I will legit reach out and let's try to do something. That would be amazing. Talk to your brother, see if he's up for it. This dog was chasing the truck the entire way across the field. I thought I was gonna kill it. It was biting my front tires while I was driving.
What is up with you?
It's a sweet dog. There's like Cass is a good dog, just a crazy dog. I didn't want to run you over.
I think she just likes adventure. She's an adrenaline junkie.
Crazy. All right, let's see if we can start this stupid car. Turn it off and back on again. Try again. That's generally the move, right? That's what tech support would tell you to do. All right,
no complaint.
Don't bite the tires, okay? Don't bite the tires. We want you to live a long, happy life. So, time to hit the road and hopefully not hit that dog. That dog is a freaking lunatic. You're crazy. You're crazy. Get out of here.
Like, what the heck? It's still chasing us. It's right beside Cale still. Oh my gosh. It still hasn't given up. The dog is a lunatic. What the crap? I thought we were gonna kill the stupid thing because it kept biting the tires of the car. What would a dog do if it caught the tire of a car? Just down the road? I don't know what they're thinking. They're obviously not, because that's not a good idea. This is by far the fastest I've had this thing. We're doing 73 miles an hour, 74, 75. Can we hit 80? We're about to find out. I think we're gonna do it. 79, 80 miles an hour. Woo! Anyway, we're almost to Tell City. Let's keep going. So there we go. We're in Tell City, and we got some Pullman cars down here on the railroad tracks on 6th Street, and little Indiana Transportation Museum pieces going on. Gremlin's doing great. The service truck has been flawless. The Dart here has seen better days. Sadly, this little Dart GTS is pretty far gone, but I gotta point out the really rough Kragers with the Jetson wide ride high performance tires. Those are cool. Even has its full interior. And there's a CB, but it's only a 2-barrel 318 apparently, so kind of looks high performance, but it's not. See the CB radio in the tack? That's cool. Patina. Oh, it's beautiful. But we gotta roll. Time to hit one more photo spot, and then we're on to Kentucky. Man, we've met a lot of cool dogs on this trip.
My buddy up in Liberty, Indiana, has got one of these Gremlins, just absolutely cherry. I mean,
Yeah, it's a little nicer than this one.
he's got like a Pinto that's been, you know, completely fixed.
That's awesome.
AMC,
He likes the weird stuff.
AMC Pacer, and he's got a Gremlin, and he's got, I mean, he's got.
So he's got the interesting, quirky, rare stuff.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Just rot it out. Just leave it like that.
Oh yeah. What was your name?
Ken?
Ken, I'm Jacob.
That's it.
Pleasure to meet you, Ken.
Safe trip back.
We'll do our best. Say fish.
But
But yeah, we're here in downtown Tell City, and my grandparents literally met right over there on that street, and this is their flood wall. So this is the Ohio River, and when it floods, they drop a big giant gate into this, and that way the flood water can't get past. The river just flows on the other side of this. It's beautiful when it's warm out.
That is accurate.
Otherwise, it's misery. That's
Anything
awesome.
with Ohio, I just don't want to be a part of.
That's fair. But yeah, there we go. Made it to Tell City. We're gonna take some pictures and then keep rolling on.
Seems like they just don't get our ways. They try to control what we say. Funny things will never go away. It's who we are. We drink iced tea out of jars. We ride in trucks, put our time in at the farm. You can see it in the evening news. They try real hard to push their views. Guess they've never been in someone else's shoes. It's who we are. We drink iced tea out of jars.
small towns. You'll thank me later.
Without a steel guitar, it's who we are.
After hitting up Tell City, right before crossing into Kentucky, there is a place called Walls Drive-In. There's a sign up there, you probably can't read it. But it's the perfect backdrop and a great place to eat with old cars. Red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue.
And actually good food too.
Yeah, and we got shakes too. So we got a shake, and
Probably the coolest Polaroids of the trip thus
they
far.
look like they're from, like, I guess 80s, because 82 is the truck on there.
But like the green with the blue and the red, that's
beautiful.
those are some good ones.
I'm very excited for these Polaroids. He's been documenting the trip via Polaroids. I'll have to show you all of them at the end. A little montage.
We got like all of these
Yeah, look
so
at that.
far, so
That's awesome. You gotta take pictures of your trip. You gotta stop and take pictures with your car too, because if you only remember the places you went and you don't remember the car you were in, what's the point? Non-car people don't understand that to us, cars are alive. They have a soul. They're much more than just some metal and four wheels. Like, these cars, like, are characters in our lives.
you get attached.
They're like an old friend, like, you know, and so you're always gonna have memories with that old friend, and they're quirky. They have personalities. This AMC loves to pull over and talk to old men. It dies on the side of the road, and it's like all of a sudden there's a guy that used to own a Gremlin.
Once again, why George is the perfect name.
George, he's just friendly and curious and fantastic. But we're gonna hit the road. We got a lot of miles to make to get to Dylan's place, and we'll probably find a coin-op car wash along the way, because it needs to be washed. We're gonna make this thing look a lot better for the drive tomorrow. So we got some stuff to get done. There we go. We are crossing the bridge over the Ohio River into Kentucky. Took this long to get out of the first state we started in. That's generally not a good sign. But we made it, and that's a win. And just like that, we are finally in Kentucky. There you go. First town here in Kentucky. And we have 27 hours to get Cale back there, back to Atlanta, which is still a long ways from here, for him to fly home and pick up his truck from the airport in Columbus, Ohio. 27 hours, and we finally just made it to the first state other than Indiana after way more than 27 hours. Yikes. So we decided maybe we should check the oil for the first time since we left Indianapolis, and it's perfect. So
Wipe it off and do the double.
yeah, we'll just double check. Always double check, think with your dipstick, don't just assume. We'll call it good. That's awesome. So now it's gotten to its happy place with the oil level probably, and got a full tank of gas. It only took 11 gallons. I don't know how big the gas tank is, but 11 gallons will get us a good ways. Things are going good. We're in Bowling Green, the home of Holly Performance, who helped build this truck right here that I get to take on these missions to save these beautiful cars. Beautiful might be a stretch, but we're heading to Shelbyville, Tennessee, to go meet Gas Pedal Kid, and he's gonna photograph the Gremlin while we finally wash it. But yeah, we're doing good, and now we're gonna roll on and enjoy a nice sunset on some beautiful roads here in Kentucky. On to Tennessee.
We drink iced tea out of jars. We ride in trucks, put our time in having fun. Yeah, nothing wrong with a little southern charm. It's who we are. Born and raised to have a loving heart. If they try to change us, they won't get very far. And what's a song without a steel guitar?
It's starting to get pretty dark. The sun has set, and been in the car for a long time. So sometimes you got to get creative to get comfortable. So
driving with my left foot, got my right foot stretched out in the passenger footwell, and I needed to stretch this leg out, so that feels glorious. We got a little over an hour till we get to the car wash, and then we'll be cleaning this old girl up and getting ready to put the patina sauce on it at Dylan's later. Look at that sunset though. Woo, yeah.
Trucks put our time in at the phone, yeah. Nothing wrong with a little southern charm, it's who we are. Born and raised to have a loving heart. If they try to change,
Our road trip is complete without a stop at O'Reilly Auto Parts. We've already gathered a crowd. What's your name, sir?
Joe Hunt.
Joe Hunt. I'm Jacob Davis. What do you think of seeing a gremlin out in the
I
wild?
love the old Gremlin. I love it. Perfect patina.
Would you believe it's been sitting for 32 years if you look at it right now?
No way. No way.
It's nuts. So we're not even here to get parts to fix it. We're here to get stuff to clean it because I want it to look a little better when we get home. And we did some gravel road cruising and stuff today, and we got it filthy. So yeah, it's time to clean it up, shine it up, and we're gonna hit up the car wash because it's been asking for help. Has an SOS and a wash me on it already. So we got to take care of that. We got the Gas Pedal Kid and his dad. And if you want to check him out on Instagram, it's the Gas Pedal Kid, right?
It's just gas pedal.
Just Gas Pedal Kid. And he has a freaking Canon R6, and he's gonna take some beautiful photos of us doing stupid stuff to a car we shouldn't even be messing with. So that's a normal day, right?
Absolutely.
Glad you guys came out. Super cool.
Thanks for meeting up.
Yeah. I don't take nice pictures hardly at all anymore, so it's gonna be nice to let him do the work. And then I'll just get to have nice pictures of my car. So this is your truck.
My truck,
You said it's got a 355 in it. What'd you do to it?
It's got a flat top. It's been bored over 30. It's got a mother thumper cam, 202 valves on the head, 600 Holly carburetor, high rise,
That sounds good.
coil attack.
Man.
18 years it's just been put on the road.
Really?
Yep.
Man, so you just did kind of what we did. Yours is a little nicer looking though.
I'm still fixing it.
Yeah. Well, you're here at O'Reilly, which is the place to go to fix your car.
Pleasure meeting you, sir.
Yeah.
Take care, buddy.
You too. That thing sounds awesome. Yep. That's a good sounding truck. So Calvin here let us park the car right in front of the store, and man, that's a great photo op. So we got O'Reilly Auto Parts above a car that they help get back on the road, because you can get anything you need for your car at O'Reilly. And this thing's driven 400 miles after sitting for 32 years, and now it's driving itself to the auto parts store, and it's not even getting parts that it needs. It's just getting detailing supplies because I need to clean the thing. All right, time to go to a car wash and get this thing cleaned up. So we got the Gas Pedal Kid right there hanging out of an Audi wagon, taking rollers of our crappy Gremlin, with the service truck being a lighting rig, which is kind of the coolest thing ever. So we made it to the car wash, and it's about the sketchiest car wash I've ever seen in my life. No lights. There was like lights and sirens going by, maybe some drug activity. It's fine. But we're gonna wash the car anyway, as long as it works. I haven't even tried yet. We got our own lighting set up, and we're gonna get this thing clean. So here we go. All right, so we're leaving the car wash. The Gremlin fired right up. Time to head to Dylan's house. Cue the time lapse. Looks like we made it. Heck yeah, we made it to Dylan's place. It's
pretty cool, right? As far as AMCs go.
So quiet.
It's luxurious. It's the nicest car I think we have. Here, you want a key to my car?
I saw the fuse and I didn't know what it was.
It's the key.
That's funny.
What do you think?
It is here. I will give you that. Where did you find a champion radiator?
So out of the Greenhorn A.
Oh, you brought it with you?
Thank goodness, because the radiator made it a quarter of a mile and blew up.
I'm impressed. I mean, the fact that you made it this far, that is impressive.
But
compared to what it looked like. Yeah.
I haven't changed the wiring. I haven't done the bolts. I never even bled the brakes.
And that bothers me sometimes.
But yeah, I do appreciate this because it's going to be way nicer to make it shiny.
Of course.
Probably in the morning. I was going to do it tonight. No. It's bedtime.
Yeah. It's, what time is it right now?
Midnight.
It is midnight.
But we did make it before midnight.
That is impressive.
I always feel bad when I show up after midnight because then it's like, oh, I showed up the next day.
Yeah.
So.
I'm usually asleep for like 3 hours at this point.
Yeah.
But hey, you know, it's well worth it to see this little Gremlin.
It's actually a really cool little car.
This is the first AMC in the shop.
Really? I mean, well, the shop's not that old, but.
Right.
First AMC for you in general?
I worked on a Javelin one time.
Okay.
I couldn't make run, but that's it? No? Yeah. Wait, do Jeeps count?
It's a gray area. I mean, it literally says Jeep right there.
Really?
On the charcoal canister.
I had an 80 model.
So it kind of counts.
An 80 model Jeep, so I guess that kind of counts.
Yeah, it had a 258, I'm sure. Yeah, that's basically an AMC. That's going to wrap it up for tonight. And I will see you guys in the morning. But the car made it, like, 500 miles?
Yeah, you still got a little ways to go.
Yeah, 4 hours.
This is like the easy part.
Yeah, and I know this drive. I don't even need to pull out my GPS.
Right.
I just get to cruise and enjoy myself.
Well, good.
Dude.
I'm glad you're alive.
Me too. The brakes haven't killed me yet. We still have 4 hours though, so they have a chance later. Good night, y'all. And if you want to tune in to see if this car will make it 700 miles home, that's going to be next video. So thanks to you guys for watching. A huge thank you to Kevin for hosting. We got Matt that came up and helped today, and the guy holding the camera, Cam Racing, my buddy Cale. Huge shout out to these guys. It was a huge help. And if you want to watch more stupid stuff like this, be sure to hit the subscribe button down there, like, drop a comment. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like, and I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, so I know you guys are used to me playing my old intro here at the end, but we're switching things up because this kid right here is awesome, and he is doing some super cool stuff, like building a 1970 Dodge Charger in a tiny little storage unit. And I don't know any other teenagers that are doing that, so you need to go check him out at Cam Racing on YouTube and Instagram, and he's got a bunch of cool content coming. So how do you feel about this thing right here?
She's got a long ways to go.
But he is doing all of it. He's doing some crazy metal work. He's gonna do a crazy engine combo in this thing, crazy color. So you wanna pay attention to this thing because it will be at SEMA in the next few years. I can virtually guarantee it.
Well, we like to think so. That's the plan at least.
It'll happen. So go follow him. You won't regret it.